we're starting today's energy reading with Adonis and Aphrodite as the lovers. And I love this connection in this story. If you don't know it, Adonis was really born from tragedy and desire together. His mother tricked her father into sleeping with her, which the gods were like, no, right? And so she was transformed into the Myrrh tree, and that was to save her from her father's wrath. So from that tree's womb, Adonis was born. And he was born, it was incarnated beauty. He was a child of both sin and divine mercy. Aphrodite, who's the goddess of love and beauty, right? And also war. But she saw this infant, she was just enamored with him. She thought he was so beautiful. He had this amazing, like magnetic energy about him. So she sent him to the underworld for safekeeping to keep him safe. And then when he grew up and had become, an adult man, both Aphrodite up in the regular world and Persephone down in the underworld were in love with him. And he ended up spending 2/3 of his time in the upper world with Aphrodite and 1/3 of his time in the lower world with Persephone. So has a lot to do in Greek mythology, in the Greek pantheon, with the cycles of fertility and death and rebirth, similar to the story of Persephone and Hades, but a little different. There's more kind of threads there. The major themes that we see here with these two as the Lover's card, and we think about the Lover's card itself, it traditionally has to do with union, with choices, and with sacred alignment, two forces meeting that transform together. This can be internal alignment, internal forces. It can be external forces. It can be romantic love, like in the story of Adonis and Aphrodite, but it doesn't need to be. It's really about our soul's attraction to beauty in the context of this, in the context of this particular story, to beauty, to inner beauty, to that magnetism of the soul, and our longing to connect with the divine, to connect to spirit. But it also tells us that union requires awareness. It requires internal work. Passion that doesn't have consciousness attached to it, it can hurt. It hurts us, it hurts others. So love, again, for the self, for others, if it's infused with reverence, if it's connected to our innermost being, that is what awakens and inspires the divine within us. So we see here this energy for today. It's sort of a meditation on this dance, this interplay between love, between loss, between renewal, and even daring to love something that's impermanent, something that that can be taken from us that we might not have in all the ways that we want to have it. So we see that the lovers, this energy, it's really a spiritual choice. It's about being willing to open my heart, even knowing that it's going to break. Finding the seeds of our eternity, of our divinity within that impermanence, within that vulnerability and that willingness to love, knowing that grief is the ticket price for love. Not a question of whether we pay it, it's a question of when. So let's get some cards here. I do pre-shuffle all the decks. Let's pull some cards. I'm using the Light Soothers Tarot here. It's one of my very favorite decks. I just love the energy and the imagery of it. And so let's see what we have for clarifiers. We have the Wheel. We have the Ace of Swords. And we have the Lovers again. So the Wheel is upside down. Ace of Swords upright. Lovers upside down. What an interesting clarification. So the Wheel has to do with our turning through cycles, right? With our moving from one stage to the next. You can see here if we turn it upright and give you guys, let me check my little camera because it's hard. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. So we see here this person is standing in tree pose, right? And there's all this energy around them. So they're unbothered, but this wheel is moving and turning and shifting. And this is almost halfway through the hero's journey that's represented by the major arcana. And I want to point out we have two major arcana and an ace here. So these are pretty big themes in our lives. And we're looking here at what is the cycle? It's not quite ready to complete because the wheel is upside down. It's not 100% there yet. You're not through it. You're not done with it. But there's something in the cycle of this relationship to love, to choice, to that consciousness in myself that enables me to be in a transformative, healthy union with the other. And again, it doesn't have to be romance, but we see like the cycle is here, it's shifting, but it's not quite done yet. And then we have the Ace of Swords, clarity, inspiration. It's that eureka moment, right? Swords is the suit of thought. But we also see here, and I love this imagery, that I can't think of the name of this right now. This has to do with sacred geometry. And you see this other geometry here. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. Maybe someone will post it in the comments. This spiral shape. I talk about it all the time. Hey, y'all, I'm on my first cup of coffee. We're doing our best here. But when we look at the shape, this has to do with the spirals, the cycles, and the natural movement of things, right? So this is clarity and inspiration, sort of a clarifying thought, a eureka moment, but it's something that is in flow with the work you've already been doing in your life. This isn't taking you in a completely different direction. This is the natural next step, almost the predictable next step based on the work you've already been doing. So like you're not quite through the cycle. You're almost there. You're getting into this next step, this clarity of thought, this inspiration that can shift everything inside of you. And then we see here the Lovers again, but upside down. And so I think this is an absolutely beautiful depiction of the lovers together. And we see here this sort of Sagittarius card, a lot of fire energy here, but also more sacred geometry. We have the 6-pointed star. And the Sagittarius symbol and that arrow. It's about that clear movement and choice. And so what I'm seeing here, we have this divine inspiration, lovers upside down, clarifying the lover's card energy. We're seeing it's just not quite there. It's almost there. There's this precipice energy. There's this readiness energy. There's this getting yourself ready to make a choice of some kind. This may have to do with another person, but again, this might be entirely internal because we're looking at the internal work and preparation that enables us to be in right relationship. Nobody wants to get into a toxic love triangle, right? Or love cycle. Nobody wants to enter another relationship and be in a space. And again, this could be romantic, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be coworkers. It could be a partnership to deal with something creative you're wanting in your life, but it's that beauty and that divinity, something that's inspiring, something that's magnetic to you. And I would say today is a day of preparation. Today is a day of seeing, not quite ready. I can feel it's coming. Can you feel that? Can you feel that something big is coming that's going to change your world? I feel that. I feel that coming in. And this is saying today is the energy of preparation, of the internal work to get ready to make that choice. Whatever the choice is, if it's something you need to put down in your world, if it's something you need to pick up, if it's just a choice to be vulnerable, a choice to allow things to unfold as they are, allow the unfolding, right? This spiral, this cycle of nature, divine timing, without trying to force it, without trying to push it or control it. We can't control the forces of spirit. We can't control the cycles of the Tao of the universe. We're part of them. The best thing we can do is, if the energy of the universe is a river, the very best thing we can do is point our feet down river and float. And that's going to enable us to follow the currents without struggling and pushing against them. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's this preparation to be ready to surrender into that union with the divine, into this co-creation with the universe, with the other souls that are around you that you're calling in. You're magnetizing in like Adonis, right? We're each an Adonis in our own way. We each have that magnetic quality that draws the beauty that we want to see into our world. So today's a day about preparing for that. It's the internal work. And let's draw a Moonology Oracle card. See what, ooh, yep, here we are. Full moon in Taurus, and the word is detoxify. So we're seeing here this invitation and this need to release something in that internal preparation to say, what is it? Is there a belief I'm holding on to that this just isn't for me, that I just can't have this? Is there a belief in other people or lack of belief, maybe that people aren't safe? Is it something to do? There's a lot of limiting beliefs that we can have that I would say are what we would say could be toxic to us or to what we want when it comes to that sacred union and co-creation. And look at this sweet golden retriever here, right? There's one here and there's one in the background with wings. Golden retrievers trust. They come in with the spirit of innocence and trust and joy without all that defensiveness. That, look, life happens and we get defensive for a reason because people hurt us and we hurt ourselves with our behaviors, with our expectations, with our patterns and our defense mechanisms. But here what we're seeing is that this big energy, this lover energy is coming in, this capacity to co-create. And the question is, are you willing to let go of the things that have kept you safe in the past, that have given you the room and the space to heal so that you can do this inner work, so that you can follow these cycles and you can allow the wheel to fully turn, to be ready to make the choice to say yes, to enter into creative, loving union with whatever you're calling into your life and get to enjoy just the beauty and the inspiration and the wonder that comes from that. This is a deep one today. Oh, I'm going to be thinking about this. I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please drop a like, a comment, maybe subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Love you. Take good care.